So just remember that even though you're buying leads, the value of the lead isn't what you're paying for it, right? You might pay $10 for a lead or $12 for a lead or something like that, but that's not the value. That's the cost of a lead, right? The value of the lead is how much money you make when it closes. So let's say I got 100 leads and I paid $500 for those 100 leads, or let's say 50 leads and I spent, let's say I spent $1,000 and I got 100 leads, right? But I earned from that 100 leads 2 closings. That's $20,000 in my marketplace. In your marketplace, it might be $10,000. But either way, I only spent $1,000 to make $10,000, or $1,000 to make $20,000. But between those two numbers is the work. It's the process. It's the understanding of how this stuff works. And that's what I'm going to train you on today. But a lot of agents get caught up on the cost of a lead. Always think about the value. What is my return on investment? If I invest X amount of dollars, over time, how much am I going to make? It's never that you start a business, invest money, and start making money. Every business requires investment of money first and then profit later. That's exactly how it is with lead gen or any form of prospecting. So the long-term value of a lead is how many deals you do with closed clients. So in other words, remember earlier in the presentation, I talked about the goal of online lead generation is an online lead generation in perpetuity, right? It isn't. But the value of a lead isn't only what you earn when it closes. The value of that lead is how much more money you make when those people, who are now part of your client base, become repeat referral clients. So I'll make $10,000 or $20,000 on a closed deal, but that person is worth about $30,000 to me, because over time they're going to refer people to me or do repeat referral business with me. So you see, even though I spent $10 or $15 or $12 on a lead, and maybe I bought a lot of leads and only a few of those closed, the amount of money I make on the closed deals is significant, both when they initially close and when they become part of my client base that's referring business to me. So that's where the money is made, and most agents don't understand that. So hopefully you picked up on that. So don't focus on the cost of a lead, but instead on the value of a closed deal. So over time, you'll find that you'll average between 17-fold return and 17-fold return on investment. So it's a simple calculation. More leads equals more opportunities equals more closings equals an ever-expanding client base, and the creme de la creme for us as realtors is more repeat referral business, right? So what you're investing in is online leads, and what your net result will be is more repeat referral business down the road. Between those two points, of course, is work and nurture and reaching out and calling and texting, engaging with people and finding homes, right? So I've given this presentation quite a few times, and oftentimes I'll get notes after the presentation from people that talk to me about their experience. And so this guy, Rob Eisman down in Florida, this is what he said, right? Eric, when you told me to suspend my disbelief for 6 months, at that time I was thinking to myself, is this thing ever going to work? Now, Rob, he called me 3 months in and he was like, oh man, I haven't got any closings yet. I said, Rob, suspend your disbelief for 6 months. Suspend it, right? It works. It's just a pure numbers game. He was thinking at the time, did he make a mistake? Well, as it turns out, he says here, we've only invested $7,000 and we've made $38,000. This is an awesome program. So he and his partner, Mark, are my clients. And everything that I'm teaching you, I taught them. And not everybody I teach does everything I tell them to do, right? These people did and are successful. This person here, Christian Draheim, this is in Detroit, Michigan, right? He had no money for the system. He was like a DMS user, like one of you guys are probably DMS users, right? And so he decided he wanted to add leads to his DMS thing. So he upgraded a little bit to the elite program. But before he did that, I told him, just call your sphere of influence. And when you call your sphere of influence, if they don't want to buy a house, ask them if they know of anybody who wants to buy a house. And through that process, you're going to learn to not be afraid of the phone, and you're going to learn what it takes to be successful with PPC leads. Now, he says here he started investing in lead gen in March of 2018. He's invested $7,420 so far, and he's had a 13-fold return on investment. So take $7,420, multiply that by 13, and you'll see what his income was on internet-generated leads. Joe Esposito, I was just down in St. Pete a week or two ago with him. I told him the same thing, 3 months in, 4 months in, 5 months in. I was talking to him. He says, yeah, I'm getting conversations. I don't have anybody in the car yet. I'm starting to freak out a little bit. And I said, hey, just suspend your disbelief. Work the leads for a minimum of 2 hours per day, and you'll have more business than you know what to do with. That's what I told him, and that's what I'll tell you. He started as an individual agent down there with nothing more than a $500 ad spend. So he's getting about 50 leads a month. A year later, he has a 3-person team. He's spending $3K a month with us right now, right? And he has an 800 to 1,000% return on investment, right? He invested $15K and he's made $120K, right? That's the it's about 8 or 9%, a 9-fold return on investment. Whenever you can invest, $500 or $1,000 consistently, it might sound a lot to some of you, and you're wondering where that money would come from. But if you can figure out a way to make it work, you too, like Joe and Christian and Rob, will have similar outcomes. Okay, so how do you do this stuff, right? You work and grow your business in this order. First, focus on your friends, family, and former clients. So all of you guys, regardless of whether or not you're a social pro person or a DMS user or an Elite or Ignite user, you have a place in your system where you can add your friends and family into the system. When you do that, you can shoot them an email and invite them to use the site to search for homes. For every 100 people that you invite to use your site to search for homes, you're going to get between 10 and 30 of them who will immediately come onto your site and start using it to search for homes. Now, again, it doesn't mean that those friends and family are ready, willing, and able to buy a house today, but at the very least, you want your friends and family searching on your site, not over on Zillow, Trulia, and Realtor.com. Does that make sense? So at the very least, you need to be using your site as the hub in which all of your friends and family and former clients are searching for homes. And you can do that by uploading your contacts and inviting those people to use your site. Then you want to add people to your site and set up searches for them. So people you meet at open houses, people you're networking with, people at your church, every single person you meet, right? Everybody that you meet, you want to add their name, email, and phone number and set up a search for them using the site. You want them in the habit of using your site to search for homes. Then you want to make sure that you're consistently posting relevant info on your social media accounts through the system, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. And finally, if you're getting leads, or if you decided that you want to add leads to your overall experience with Elevate, you can do that by the way through calling your account manager, and I'll give you a way to do that in a minute. But finally, consistently, right? Immediately, consistently, and empathetically follow up your leads. Those are the 4 things you need to do to be successful.